This video is for my followers who do not have a plan B. And if you're following, or if you happen to become subject to destructive directives on your neighborhood and or business, here's my advice to all of you. Starters, number one, make sure you have one of these around in some capacity, with a higher capacity magazine of some kind. These are survival rules. What I mean by high capacity, make sure you have something you can always go to if you got to go to it. Skill number two, make sure you know how to load it faster than your enemy, especially if you're taking fire. Rule number three, make sure you have yourself a good melee weapon that you're good at using. For this melee weapon will come in handy if you run out of these kind of things. It's super important that you're able to have enough behind this to maintain survival, which leads to rule number four. Make sure you're doing push-ups and sit-ups on a regularity right now. If you happen to be a little bit overweight, out of shape, and you're calling a bunch of, dangerous situations into yourself, you may want to start hitting the gym a little bit. Which leads to my next thing. If you don't have a gym, you don't have access to a gym, and if you're quarantined the fuck down, you can order one of these for 20 bucks. This is a 15-pound kettlebell. You can get yourself in pretty good shape with this. You can do all kinds of shit. You can make up workouts with this thing. I do a little ball thing I throw around. Sometimes I throw it, catch it, It's just what I do. I have a whole video series of things I was going to be doing with a kettlebell to build up your self-defense reflexes. So stay tuned for that. Hey. Ideology number 6. Is that my number 6? Always have options for melee weapons around. This is my preferred melee weapon because you can use this after things get fucking nasty. I like these kind of things because it's also small. You can also fit in your belt. Comes with a little belt, little pocket, little thing. I can pull it out fast. I'm actually in the process of making a fast holster for this. Stay tuned. When I finally get it together, I will. I'll be releasing out to the public. Number 7, learn how to make fire or have fire making tools around. Lighters are cool, but they run out, and eventually you're not going to be able to go to the corner store to get that kind of a thing anymore. So you're going to need some kind of ability to make fire, some kind of long-term conditions to making fire with your, with what you have. Number 8, I don't have the can around. Oh, don't. Get yourself a can of Wet Seal for your clothing. If you do not have any idea on how to bear the elements, because if you burn this shit to the ground, guess what you're not going to have? A rooftop. So get yourself a can of Wet Seal and get yourself a pair of clothes or clothing, long sleeve, long shirt, hoodie preferably, and you spray it down with Wet Seal and let that shit dry for 2 days. You will have waterproof clothing that will last long enough to get you to another environment. Do you know where you're going? Which leads to number 9. Have a map of some kind. Power is going to be cut off, so you're going to have to know exactly where you're going to go. You're going to have to know how to do direction, either with a sextant type of compass. A compass that has a thing that pops up, and you can look at the stars and count. You can figure out which stars is in which direction, or you're going to have to just know navigation through a compass. A sextant compass, or just a compass by itself, excuse me. But yeah, you're going to have to figure those things out. Number 10. Make sure you have a bag around that is worth all the shit you can carry. You need different degrees of bags right now. You need to figure out what's going to help you survive. Bags are not always the best. Bags are good for have open space and carry things with you. But you may want to get yourself situated where you have pockets, lots of pockets, so you can carry your survival gear either on a belt or on a pocket. Number 11, make sure you have 2 pairs of socks, because if you're going to be walking for a long period of time, you're going to need to wash out 1 pair of socks, at least the other one's drying, so you can keep walking, because, like Napoleon said, an army can only eat on the, soles of its feet. And what that means is basically, I'll let you read into that however you want to read into that, but make sure you got your feet protected at all costs. You know, bare minimum shit. I would say, you know, number 12, I would say keep some kind of a secondary. Always go to this kind of a, always have a knife on you. I should have made this rule number 1, because with a knife you can do everything. You can feed yourself, protect yourself, make fire, get water preservation going. You do a lot with one little knife. I should have made this number 1 in this whole video, entertaining you while you're sitting on your ass video thing. But yeah, I should have, you know. But make sure you get yourself a knife. Number 13, hey man, get your fucking cardio up. Yeah, I know I puff herb like so many of others, you know, do. But hey, you're gonna need to get your cardio up, because you don't know how long you're gonna have to run and how far you're gonna have to run with how much you got on you. You're gonna have to run if you have to run. Some of you are too big to be running. You'll tear your body up trying to, you know, you tear your bones up trying to all of a sudden start weight training and all that other shit. You need to go ahead and consult a physician and doctor before you do that, you know, by all means, especially if you start looking at any of my workout videos, because I train intensely and I train intently. In other words, I train to get a certain result out of my body, and I make sure I train in that result, which you will see in the future once we get going. Anything else for immediate survival? Yeah, have a good pair of fucking shoes, and wet seal them as well too. Make sure you have a good pair of waterproof shoes. Hey, they're going to be hot in the summertime, but guess what? Summer ain't forever, and neither is winter, but winter will kill you faster than summer. You can find some water in summer, but, you know, you can freeze to death in the winter. And, you know, you got to, you know, be able to, articulate, navigate. Somebody school me on the words, usage of that word. You should navigate. You navigate your way through all that kind of stuff, you know. Learn some martial arts. Number 14. Learn how to fucking get down, and not some bullshit shit, girls. Not some BJJ lead to a BJ bullshit. No, I'm talking about some real shit. And I ain't talking trash about, you know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu cats. No, I'm just saying, look, a lot of those cats, you know, that shit only works a certain moment. You're talking about a situation where you may have to run. Tussling up with a motherfucker's good to get out of that, and it's a good skill to get on. But, you know, learn on how to use your fucking hands too, man. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't got to come to that, because you can only occupy one person at a time in jiu-jitsu. 3 people on one is not a jiu-jitsu fight. That's a execution. You know, you're done. That's why you get good with edged weapons, especially if you're gonna be by your fucking self. You know, I love this fucking thing. It's not even the best axe on the market. I just love it because of the size of it. It's strong enough, you know what I'm saying? It's a little SOG thing, you know. But it's, you know, whatever. I would say number 16, 16 or 15, I don't really remember. Hey, I would also say a really good thing to do is get some friends, okay? Get some friends that are smart. Get some friends that think like you. If your mate doesn't think like you, even if y'all got different politics, that's not important. If she or he doesn't think like you, you're with the wrong person, okay? Friend, person you fucking, lover, relative, whatever, family member. If you got a dumbass family member who wants to sit there and subscribe to narratives that will harm them long term, then you probably need to get away from your fucking family, okay? Because that's the straight up truth about all of that shit. You know, you don't need to be around anybody who's not thinking. If you are thinking and you are feeling like this is the right course of action you're taking, then you need to take that course of action. You think following those fucking sheep and running down that fucking shit is the smartest thing to do, you are probably a fucking idiot ass. And you probably deserve everything you got coming to you, because you're a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? A fucking idiot. And stop being an idiot. Number 17, man, if I think I'm in that right, don't listen to destructive narratives, okay, if you're not equipped to handle them. If you're inspired to take steps during this whole thing, take them. But make sure there's steps that you can survive. Make sure your risk for reward mind is working. Because if you're not thinking, okay, is this worth it for me to do this bad thing? Or is it worth it for me to do this good thing? Am I equipped to handle these things? You may not be equipped to handle that. You may want to sit this one out for a few. You know? You may want to get the fuck out of the way. You know what I'm saying? Number 18, or am I in 17? Somewhere in there. Hey, watch, before the fucking lights cut out, watch fucking social media and watch who is saying what I'm very serious about that. If people are coming off at you with a bunch of like, let's destroy this thing, let's destroy that thing, they probably gonna be a bunch of punk motherfuckers in the end because they don't even know what the fuck to do. Or you probably won't even see them. And if you come across them, know what they look like. I want you to come to me and be like, yo, how do I survive this shit? How do I handle this shit? I'll be happy to tell you. I don't give a fuck who you're from, but I will not give you some shit so you can turn it against me later. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to check you at the door, make sure. I'm going to see who you with. I'm going to check your social media, all that stuff, man. If I don't know you, then we got to work in some kind of, trust system here. Straight up. And then by the divine, we get intertwined. But don't come to me with no how to shoot gun shit and you working for them who going to be tearing up neighborhoods and tearing up businesses and committing, those kind of heinous actions on people, man. Don't come to me with that bullshit, because I will fucking kill you. I will ask you. Remember, you are considered a terrorist now, and I will cash in on that shit as much as possible. Excuse my segue. Number 19 of things. Once you figure out who's who, keep a list in some kind of way, mentally or just some kind of way with one of these. If you get no more electricity, figure something else out. Just figure out a way that will keep information, viable to you, so you have your own database within your own self. Everybody's going to start operating kind of like a spy in a foreign country. You're not going to have any contact with the outside world, very limited, and then you're going to have to be very careful about how you walk across the street, which gangs are going to take control of what, because some of your mayors and some of your governors are going to allow armed gangs to roam the streets to take shots at you, and you're going to have to be prepared to deal with this. Study, get good with your gun, learn how to clear rooms, learn how to, fight in the field, fight in the desert, fight in the snow, fight in the jungle, fight in the swamp, wherever you are. America's getting ready to turn into some kind of a battle zone on some level. I hope not, but it may turn into some kind of battle zone in which now the people who are going unfaced and unnamed are arming themselves to march on neighborhoods armed. I don't know about you guys, but I ain't gonna sit still. And I'm definitely not gonna let it happen. I'm definitely not gonna let any harm come to myself or anyone else. And that's my promise. With that being said, y'all be well, be blessed. Thank you for tuning into these videos. Thank you for tuning in to Self-Defense Psychology. This is an interesting turn for us all. Let's all survive this, and if we do, we'll be YouTubing each other on the other side of all this bullshit later, sipping Mai Tais in your fucking fanciest restaurant that you loved before all this shit happened. If not, I'll see your ass in the fucking Book of Eli looking shit. Peace.